And that's when I said, oh, wait, we're recording now? Okay, hello, people. How are you? Hi. My name is Luca, and welcome to another episode of Three Galaxies CNS. I am, as always, the GM, and today we have the Walt, as always, playing Graham. At least I think you're playing Graham, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I didn't accidentally mix up people and characters. Yes. And we have Dave playing Cameron, open parentheses, Arrow, close parentheses, Howell.
Roger that, reporting for duty.
And of course we have Eyes playing Yuki, the lovable, in quotation marks, crazy.
I don't think you need the quotation marks. It's pretty obvious she's crazy.
No, the quotation marks are around the lovable part.
Oh.
Yes. All right. Makaze is not able to be here this week. He had a conference that he had to go off to, so he has given me permission to NPC his character as is needed. The fool. I mean, but anyway, last time when we let off, you had at the end of the last session, you had just reached the second main training station, and had docked, and were getting resupplied and getting quickly briefed about what to expect from, well, more or less go there, be like, hello, yes, how are you? Yuki had some misadventures involving misleading a fine, upstanding, completely not stereotypically Russian accented man and thinking that he was going to go have, as he put it, the bouncy. And in the course of that, did a little bit of investigating around the place, that sort of thing. You all met with the station commander, who was, well, she was a commander, therefore you cannot call them crazy, you can call them eccentric. Anyone of higher rank than you that shows crazy things, they're eccentric. That is the rule. Now, as for the rest of that, Cameron was able to procure a box of locks for Yuki to practice on, instead of, trying to get into the secure armory that makes annoying beeping sounds when you fail to get in. And was it last session that Graham went into the engineering computer to look for the AI?
Yes, and he sort of found it.
Sort of found the AI, yes. He found that it was separate from, yet within sight of the main ship's computers.
Yep.
And then you were given your briefing. You were to do a standard reconnaissance/scouting mission of a system as if it were a newly found system.
Right.
The system in question, of course, being the one that the training station was on, but you can't see the training station because, advanced simulation powers of not showing you the station.
Got it. Okay. I'm sure we'll see it if we run into it, but
yes, it has its blinkers on.
Space is big, so.
Okay, so the simulation is counting down to when the start begins, and you've got about 3-4 minutes if anyone has any questions for anyone, wishes to look up procedures, that sort of thing.
Well, I'm just going to maybe even roll back a bit here, but just point out to our science officer that, yes, that once Arrow, we're going to drop into the system, and once we have ascertained that there is no clear and present danger, the mission's his, and that will be his until something drops in the pot, and it turns into a combat situation again. But as soon as the science mission starts, basically the ship is his, and I'll steer it where it has to go. I believe that's the standard. Please, great and wise GM, let me know if that's a difference.
That's more or less the standard. Avani will nod and go, yeah, pretty much the standard for this sort of thing is do a wide scan of the system first and make sure that there's not any other large objects there that we need to look at. Then go from planet to planet, scan those, go over any stellar objects that we run across. At Captain's discretion, look at some of the other, look at any odd anomalies on the surface with a tighter scan if we feel like it. Aside from that, basically, we just go in, scan the stuff, and leave.
Mm-hmm. I'm much more worried about something lurking there. We never know what's going to be hidden in these backwater systems. But we'll keep our eyes open and play it by ear. I'm sure this will go swimmingly. But I can't see what could possibly go wrong. What does that sound?
Something that Graham would check up on before that we head off for the simulation, because I presume he has at least a little time to do so.
Yeah, you had probably from leaving the station, you probably had about 45 minutes to get into position. So,
okay, he would review and review the manual specifically in regards to contingency plans, in regards to malfunctions and potentially damage control, typical on science missions, because I believe there's something on that.
As in, he's just making sure that he's got all the damage control stuff lined up in case something does happen.
Not just damage control, but more or less the areas of the manual more or less bookmarked and they're ready to read out if he needs to. Just more or less, how nuclear cores have like certain procedural guidelines for like meltdowns and stuff like that.
Surprisingly enough, yes, I do actually.
Yeah. Stuff like that. He is more or less bookmarking those specific procedures, looking for stuff that would be of immediate reference material.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep that in mind in case anything comes up. I'll give you a bonus or whatever accordingly should something like that occur.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, is there anything that Yuki would like to do before the mission begins?
She's just playing with her new locks at her station.
I'm envisioning you somehow managing to lock yourself to your chair. But yes, okay. Avani is sitting at the sensor controls. He's looking bored. So the clock is ticking down to the entry into the system.
This is all on you today, Avani. So this is where you earn your brownie points.
Oh boy, pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, again, caveat: I am not Makaze. I am only NPC in character.
Okay. Well. You look exactly like him, so it's fine.
Oh, good. Yeah, put on the wig and everything. So the countdown hits 0, and the ship comes in through the simulated exit from light speed.
Right.
Evidently, they're being generous this time in that they don't require manual leaving of light speed. Instead, assuming through some amazing simulation skills that a pilot would be able to do something fairly routine.
Okay.
And you find yourself at the very edge of the solar system. And, well, the only thing that you can really tell that you're even near it is the fact that the bright dot of the system's star is slightly larger than all of the other specks floating about in the void. And would someone please give me a sensor roll?
Yep.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of you guys. I don't have sensors.
And rolling. And checking. Sensors, that's 3 over.
Okay. Well, the sensor results come back. It takes them a little bit longer than normal because, well, turns out that you're using the tactical sensors to try to scan the system.
Well, that's good because that's what I'm looking for right now is bad guys, but fine.
Well, yes. The tactical sensors return, and lo and behold, there are no, seemingly, at least from the scan that you were able to do, there are no artificial bodies out in space. And the very vague outline now of the system itself comes into view. It is a single star system with 5 planets. 2 of them before a rocky asteroid belt closer to the sun, and the remaining 3 on the outside of the system. These 3 being, judging from the fact that they are colored differently on the sensor return, because obviously they can't just say planet, indicate that the outer 3 are gas giants of some sort.
Roger that. Okay.
And that is the very basic sensor return that you have.
Too easy. Yuki, anything on the comm channels?
Okay, I'm gonna start my comm channel check then.
Nice broad sweep. See if anyone's chattering. We're and at the risk of retconning, we're coming in fairly quietly. We're going to keep it.
I succeeded my roll to check.
Well, you turn on your sensor. You turn on, the listening sensors, to see if you receive anything. And there's nothing there but the normal background static of space from, the occasional ping of radiation as it glances off one of the communication arrays. Everything seems almost depressingly, boringly normal.
I keep monitoring, so.
All right.
So all clear, Yuki?
Okay, nothing here.
Great. Science guy, because I'm horrible with names. Avani?
Yeah.
Sure.
In that case, let's move to the first, the outermost planetoid first. Let's give that a scan. If we could fly to within 100 clicks of the outer atmosphere.
That close. Very well. Okay. Now plot a course and see what we got. Ew.
Fast into it again.
Walt, we're getting some background noise from you.
Really?
Yeah, sounds like an air conditioner.
Air conditioner. Oh, that may be a fan, actually. Sorry.
Radio coming in, okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That was a fan. Apparently, it puts off enough stuff to do that. Okay.
Yeah, no problem, man. Just letting you know.
Yeah, thanks.
Unfortunately, that roll is over by 18, so we may have to do a little mid-course corrections there, as they say in the pilot business.
Well, you start heading towards it.
Oh, yeah.
And everything seems fine. And then a red light turns on and starts blinking at you.
Blinking
red light of the... Please give me another piloting check.
This is...
Is engineering registering anything?
This is... Because...
That.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so
small
that's...
spacecraft? Yeah, that's under by nearly 30%, 35.
Well, you jerk the handle to you jerk the yoke to the side, and pull back. And again, thanks to the fact that space is a three-dimensional area, you narrowly avoid what appears after a few moments on the view screens and on sensors to be a comet that was rather conveniently right in the middle of your path.
Huh. Well, found our first discovery.
I can see that. I'm scanning it. Scanning.
Of course, I meant to do that. Really.
Oh boy, it's a Class 3 comet. Well, we found a spitball, guys.
Excellent. Keep on trucking.
All right. Well, we just need to get back to the to the planet, and I'll scan it there.
You betcha.
Should I enter this into the logs as the comet course correction?
Comet discovery, what have you? It's going to be your report.
No. I mean, should I name the comet course correction?
I give him a withering glare.
Just asking, man. Just asking.
I think it sounds wonderful that way. Put it in the log.
Okay. Well, could you give me one more piloting roll to make sure that you actually managed to get to the planet? Oy vey!
Hold on. That makes it. Yes, it does. Under by 4.
How did the earlier one not make it at 73?
That was a navigation roll.
Oh, that was navigation. Okay. Well, you make it to the planet, and you're 100,000 kilometers away from kissing the very edge of its outer atmosphere. And as you slowly almost go into orbit around it, you can see the surface of the planet through the visual feeds. It's a dull brown color, almost akin to a cup of coffee that's had a little bit too much creamer put in. And there are streaks of darker color in it as it turns, and Avani looks down at his sensors and starts humming to himself as he starts taking in the data. And it's about not bad size for a gas giant. Atmosphere is mostly composed of argon and trace amounts of nitrogen. Oof. That would be interesting to see.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm not being scientifically accurate here.
Okay.
I'm throwing out gaseous elements.
Sorry.
It's good to say, argon's rather useful as space fuel.
Sorry, I'm just my traveler roots are coming back to me. So, but carry on.
Sorry, I am. Disclaimer: I am not going to be very scientifically accurate all the time.
Okay. The unobtainium and the MacGuffinite.
The unobtainium and the MacGuffanium. Yes.
Yes.
Continue scanning it. After maybe a minute and a half of various whirling noises and beeps and boops and lights flashing from his console, he looks up, nods a little bit. Well, I think I got all the information I really can on this one. It's it's pretty normal as far as this type of gas giant goes. Another failed protostar.
Oh, well, that seems unusual, but okay. No, I leave that to your call.
It's got no moons or other orbiting debris. We're able to get down pretty much. Nothing remarkable. You are, boss.
Okay, well, no. Next, work our way inward.
Yeah, let's just work our way. 2 remaining gas giants, then do a quick run of the asteroid, then the sun.
Excellent. Anything unusual? Any kind of flare activity or anything?
From this, well, let me take another look at the long range.
Before we get there and start baking our own.
You guys are cutting in and out a bit.
Yeah, I thought it was just me.
No, that's not just you.
Y'all are sounding fine to me.
I'm gonna exit and rejoin.
Yeah.
Intermission.
Well,
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go in.
Are we coming in loud and clear now, Eyes?
Yeah.
For now, we'll have to.
It's coming in clear now. For me.
Okay.
Can you double check, make sure that we're still recording audio?
Go ahead and talk real quick. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Why do you want me to talk real quick? Why should I talk real quick? Why can't I talk my normal speed? I'm not really.
Talking quick enough.
Si habla español. No. All right.
This comedy hour brought to you by.
Yes. All right. So, do you continue inward? Oh wait, no. He was waiting for the sensor results. I'm sorry.
Just a quick buzz.
Let's see. Carry the 1, divide the 3. Let's move that to that spectrum. No, looks. Stop. I'm not picking up anything unusual from the sun.
Roger
of course,
that.
we'll have to get closer to do an actual scan of it, but I'm not detecting anything that'll throw us off.
Roger that. Yeah, sure. We'll proceed. Set up a course and
Radio
keep going.
Still silent.
Give me a radio sensor check. Give me a radio check. I'm sorry.
And as far as the sensors and radio chatter are concerned, I'd like to keep as much of a tactical eye on the situation while.
Well, I didn't hear anything.
You just have the steady static of space.
Red rum, red rum, red rum.
No. They prefer blue rum.
Okay.
All right. So if you would give me a navigation or piloting check to go to the second to the next.
I think I'll try the old piloting thing here. Oh, there we go. That's how you do this. That last gas giant was on an odd elliptical, so it was a little.
Okay. So it takes about, at your best speed, the best inter-system speed, it takes you about an hour to get there.
Wow, that's trucking. Okay.
And you go to enter into orbit. And this planet, if the previous one appeared... Whoa. If it appeared squeak. If it appeared fairly sedate.
That was headphones. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Just startled me. If it appeared fairly sedate, this one puts that to the that this one could not be more different. Just from your aerial view, you can see that the atmosphere is in chaos. Multiple bands of differing colors swirling around another, mixing together, flashes of lightning going across the surface, enough to illuminate the gases, even from your point of view. And Avani gives a low whistle at that before starting to scan.
Cyclonic storms the size of whole planets. Lightning bolts the size of...
battleships.
Indeed. Hailstones the size of 10 of volleyballs.
Well, this scan takes a while. And were it not for him constantly moving about, humming, muttering to himself as he looks over the sensors, you would almost think that he was not scanning at all. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, a full hour and a half later, He looks up from the sensors and lets out another low but very impressed whistle. Yeah, scan, holy shit. Scan's done. Wow. How long has Yuki been asleep?
About 45 minutes.
Oh. Huh.
It's
She's
okay.
drilling again. Anyway, yeah, the storms on that thing, holy. I don't think that even one of our new, I don't even think a battleship would survive more than 30 seconds down there.
Mental note, don't go down there.
Yeah, yeah, I've got all the information I can get from the sensors on this thing. I don't, this might actually set a record for the violence of the storms that are going on down there.
Okay. Make a note that probably should recommend some sort of navigational warning around this thing if they ever do put out navigational beacons and stuff like that saying, rough road ahead.
All right.
Okay. And while all this is going on, again, as much as we can on the channels that weren't being used by Avani, was to
keep a tactical eye out.
To keep an eye out for anything weird, and listening to the radio occasionally now since our comms person is busy drooling on the controls.
All right. In that case, would you please give me a sensor check?
Oh, Roger that. Oh.
All right. The sensors
And
are ping back their return, and there's nothing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So are you ready to proceed to the next? Avani looks up and sits back down in his chair, taking a little bit of a breath. Like, okay. Next one, Chief.
Okay. Let's make some tracks here.
All right. Again, give me a check, please.
Static from Walt.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit from it.
I literally have nothing. I'm just sitting here listening.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm gonna mute myself and see if that changes anything.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a 14 out of 80 or so.
Yeah. So you lay in your next course and start heading that direction.
What's the ETA until we start coming up on the planet and start getting good sensor data?
Well, do you ask Avani that?
Avani, the navigation computer, whatever. I'm just curious. We've been at this for a while here, so.
It will take you when you're about 15 to 20 minutes out at your best speed. It will, you'll start getting in detailed information. If you're looking at more, like, well, there's no battleship hiding behind that moon, or there's no battleship about to jump out of space at us.
Okay.
If you're looking for more of that sort of information, it comes in at about 45 minutes to an hour before you hit there.
Okay, so I'm just thinking, take a break sort of thing. Go get a snack.
Oh, yeah, you've got plenty of time to do that because the
Yeah,
ETA to the next planetoid is checking 2 hours.
Okay, well.
So if there's anything anyone wishes to do in the time between the planetoids, please do let me know. Is there anything Yuki wishes to do in those 2 hours?
She's sleeping.
Okay, sleep works. Is there anything in particular that Graham would like to do?
He would most likely be watching the sensors, and as per usual, he'd have the alert set up if he got up for anything, so that if anything, basically, and it would be pretty tight parameters. If anything shifted in any meaningful way from an engineering standpoint, he would get an instant alert.
He's got one of those restaurant pagers that tells you when your table's ready.
All right. Is there anything that Arrow would like to do?
Take a little stretch in place sort of thing. But otherwise keeping a moderate vigilance for anything unusual coming out and flying the darn ship. Makes me wonder why they don't put more pilots on board this thing, but none of you guys can fly a boat, can you?
Do you say that like over the comms or anything?
Sure. Why not? I would know anyway, so.
You would know that Graham knows how to fly a ship, or at least this one.
Okay. Well. Okay.
And she would say as much if you said that over the PA. Like, I can fly if you need it, but I got engineering duties.
Oh, well. If the engines are behaving themselves, want some flight time?
Sure, I guess. Though, and Arrow, just so you know, like his reputation in the academy was, don't let this guy fly your ship unless you've got a navigator right there.
The course is laid in. You right there, GM? It's just...
The course is laid in, yes. It will require minute corrections over the course of it as the ship will drift a little bit thanks to, the nature of space.
Right. So, if anyone else wants to take some stick time, I gotta take a rest too. I gotta stay awake. Get some chow.
And Avani will get up to, go grab some tea or use the head at some point during the 2 hours.
Well, I'll monitor the cockpit if you think that'll help.
Oh, it's up to you if you want to fly. That's all I'm saying. We can set up repeaters if you're worried about the engines.
Fly? Yes. Are people happy when I fly? Not necessarily.
At this point, I'm tempted to say, what could possibly go wrong?
Did someone say the magic words?
Well, it's entirely up to you, Graham. If you want to get some time some stick time, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. I understand completely.
That's probably a good idea. So he'll do that, but we'll make sure to have the parameters set in for the engineering that basically, if anything severely changes status wise, he will be immediately ordered.
Just don't break the ship. That's because.
Understood, sir. And he'll sit down in the cockpit and just more or less keep it going.
Okay.
Could I have a piloting check from you, please, sir?
Of course.
Just remember.
Do you want an extra D100 also?
Be one with the machine.
I will add modifiers as necessary to the result.
Okay. Now, yeah, he can fly, but no, that succeeds by a bit.
Okay. Remarkably enough, you managed to keep on the dotted line.
I'll go do my thing and then come back. It's
almost as if a chorus of angels from on high let loose a clarion of horn calls as you managed to keep on the line for probably the first time in your character's life being able to follow the navigation directions.
Yeah, it's more accident than actual skill in regards to following the directions there.
Right in the pipe. Is Yuki still asleep?
How long has it been?
It's come up to been a couple hours now.
It's probably been about 90 minutes. You're about 30 minutes out from needing to actually do stuff.
I would wake up, yawning, stretching. That was a good...
See Graham at the controls.
I look at him. What are you doing here? Where's Arrow?
He went to get something to eat. I'm taking shift, sort of doubling for this as well as engineering at the moment.
Oh. Avani, why don't you come with me into the kitchen area?
Huh? What? Sure.
You want some coffee?
I had some tea, but thank you. Do you want me to get some for you?
No, get some. Oh, no. Passes by Arrow there without noticing him.
Okay. Yep. Ah,
And Avani, will chat and that sort of thing.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to be said.
mhm. And I'll just head on up once. Okay. Status report there, Mr. Graham.
I'm on the dotted line.
Look over the controls. Right in the pipe. Roger that. Okay, Graham, you are relieved.
In more ways than one.
With a deep sigh, he'll get up from that and be like, I'll be
Okay.
honest, that's the first time I've ever stayed on the dotted line.
I have the ship, and I'm sure it's not the last. Go get yourself something to eat before we hit orbit and works begins, and we need your engines to break this beast.
Yes, sir. And he'll go quickly fix himself a sandwich and get like some water or something like that, and eat it before getting back to its council.
Okay. The speakers are speakers.
But they have that ticking noise still. Or whatever noise it is.
They don't have a ticking noise?
Are they gone now?
There is no ticking noise. The only noise you hear is the if you check in on, well, roll me a communications check if you check in on your communications console.
Yeah, she probably would have done that. The player just doesn't.
Hmm.
I keep forgetting this number.
Mwah. I'm not getting HBO on anything.
You continue to hear static. Although, you could swear for a second or two you heard whispering voices coming out of it.
Wait, what was that? I stopped, and then I try to go back and find it again.
There's nothing there.
Arrow?
Yes? What is it, Yuki?
I heard whispering through the radio.
Okay, first off,
I can't get it back. It's
passive sensors, cut engines, we drift.
Okay.
We're still on course. Newton is in the driver's seat. And I'll scan the radio dial.
Give me. Oh,
oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Hey!
Oh wow.
That's epic.
Give me a moment.
I can't wait.
I have to think of how to reward you for this.
For a random chance? I mean, really?
Yeah, yes, I have. I mean, you rolled a 1. I mean,
It's epic, even if it was unintentional.
you are checking over the normal comm channels, and you're probably checking to see. Would your character check to see if there was anything that might be encrypted being broadcast?
Definitely looking for. Well, yeah. If there is some bad guys here, and they've by now seen us, sure, check and see if there are even encryption patterns going on.
And then, Mama, I do not lie to you. The one with little metal bits in head. She said that she want to go to bouncy with me, but then she. Why is light showing gray? Oh, I'm transmitting on open chat. Crap. How close channel? John, how do you close this thing off? Off of open channel? Yeah?
At this point, I presume that we have pretty much standardized equipment on in the CNS.
Yes, basically.
It's the red button on the right.
Oh, thank you, Strange One. Oh, boy, shouldn't I?
Bonjour, moi. Okay. Well, but other than that, no bad guys? Cool.
That is the only abnormality that you can find.
Well, at least, there's plenty of abnormality. It's just mostly on this ship. Okay. Nope. I think you're good there, Yuki.
Okay, that was enjoyable.
Don't worry. It's fine. I wonder who he was talking about. Bouncy, metal bits and head.
No clue, no clue. Oh, look at this email I got in my thing.
I don't know. Anyway. So,
you continue on now at normal pace back to
yeah,
the
we can
planet?
read candle and...
Okay. You continue, and you enter that. And where the first planet was this crab ball, and the second planet was a ball of destruction and oh god, why? This planet, it's the largest of the three. You can tell that just looking out the window. It is substantially larger. It is as if someone had taken an artist's palette to a marble and was slowly blending the colors along one side of it. Orange turning to yellow, turning to red, slowly shifting into green and purples, shifting down into reds again, working along the entire spectrum of colors on roughly half of the planet. The other half of the planet, oddly enough, shows no sign of these colors. Instead, it shows a fairly normal brownish orange coloration shot through with bits of cream and a few heavy red spots that slowly, as you watch, rotate and move along as the planet and you orbit each other. And Avani raises an eyebrow and starts to scan. Ay vey. Well, could have been worse.
It appears to be a planet, roughly
There's something there. Yeah. It's a
It appears
planet
to be a sphere. It's round. My gosh, it's full of stars.
Okay.
So what kind of planet is that, Avani?
It's
a type in space.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed. And what's with the colors and...
And Avani is tapping away at his console.
I'm sure
And
Avani will figure it out eventually.
It's at that point that the console starts spitting out sparks. And a rather loud klaxon starts up. And
that's...
Graham, you got a big red light blinking, indicating that something's going on the bridge.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
does it indicate? Do I know exactly? Do I know what it is?
It has a prefix code. Roll me an engineering check to see if you know the prefix code offhand.
Okay.
While that goes on, I'm sure there's procedures for when things start blowing up on a bridge too. So
I also prepared bookmarks for procedures and stuff.
I remember.
Okay.
Yes, the procedure is Avani jumps back, cussing.
okay.
Oh my god.
Maybe I'll be a Cosmo Knight next.
You know, of things I didn't expect to happen tonight. It's a party night. No,
accidentally up on the other end.
Have you tried turning it off and on?
Well, this was just a check to see if you recognize the prefix code.
Not a clue.
That prefix code is indicative that someone just turned on the self-destruct.
Oh, he activates telemechanics, and he is like working as fast as he can to deactivate the self-destruct. He gets on the comms. He's like, "Holy shit! Shut it off! Self-destruct active!"
We're hearing screaming coming through the PA.
You are hearing screaming something about
shut it off.
Shut it off and self-destruct.
Off, Graham. We don't know what you're talking about. Oh, we don't know.
Well, you're in telemechanics.
And he's trying to shut it off, but I don't think he has the clearance to shut it off. That's the thing.
No, you don't.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, shut it off, shut it off. Damn it, he's swearing up a storm from that. You've never heard him this loud and angry.
Engineer, please report the situation to us, please.
No time, man. Self-destruct's active. Shut it down. Only you have the activation. I have the shutdown codes. Can't do it here. Fuck it.
Self-destruct activated. Roger that.
And
okay.
He's tearing apart the console trying to get to deactivate the self-destruct code.
And Arrow is doing the laid-back pilot thing. Roger that. That's affirm. And we'll do what do we have to do to check that the auto-destruct is activated and then deactivated?
Well,
turns out,
if you could give me a, if you could give me a, do you have a computer use skill there?
Computer operation, yes. In fact, I do.
If you could roll that for me real quick.
16 out of 60.
Yeah, the self-destruct, it's just kind of sitting there. It's like, yeah, hi, how you doing? I'm not on. What you want?
Yeah. Okay, so it has not been activated.
Yeah, it is. You have to enter in a password like 5 times just to access, the check system. And yeah, it's not on. Also, during all of this, there are still sparks flying from
obviously
Avani's console.
We're gonna take care of that. So can we shut off power or something? Or
well, that's not.
Do you tell Graham
Yeah. Well, eventually, yeah. Well, right now things are screaming, so I'm doing that. So
yeah, because Graham is desperately trying to find a way to access the access and disable that, and if it comes up like what Arrow found out, then he'd probably stop, but he'd be going, what in the fuck?
Now, you're using telemechanics, correct?
Yes, I am using telemechanics and basically every skill in my disposal because I'm moving as fast as an engineer can, trying to figure out what's going on and disabling the self-destruct. He's more or less headed in that direction from a metaphorical standpoint.
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, as sparks are flying and Cameron is checking to make sure that the auto-destruct is not on, does that include the machine ghost thing where you go into the computer? Will you be using that?
Well, yes, because it would buy him a lot of time, and he would do that. Because it goes something like 10 times faster than normal time.
Okay. Well, probably just as Cameron is starting, typing in the final password to make sure that the self-destruct isn't on, you enter into the machine again, and unlike your entrance into a fairly sedate, urban, fairly functional part of the engineering computer that you had entered into before. As you come into being, for lack of a better term, you appear on a concrete ground. The sky is a featureless black, and out in front of you are 5 pillboxes with almost ludicrously large guns pointing out of them, aimed directly at you. And you can see behind those battalions of simulated tanks with their guns aimed at you similarly.
Engineering credentials.
State identification.
And he will present identification. He's done it enough times.
They pause for a second. You are not authorized to be in this sector. Leave now, or we will fire.
His engineering credentials are not working?
Your engineering credentials don't get you into the self-destruct.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't trying. Okay, what I'm trying to get at when I did that, I was entering the. Because you said the engineering computer was separate from the typical.
Yes.
Yeah. What? Because I mean, I imagine he would know this, and he would be trying. What he would be trying to do is okay. Like, wouldn't he be alerted to this fact beforehand, or be aware of this fact beforehand?
But the engineering computers are separate?
No, the one, they're separate, but two, the extreme amount of security behind the self-destruct.
I would assume.
Okay.
You have a computer. You have. Let me check your sheet real quick to double check something. Yeah, you have computer programming. And one of the very basic things is high security areas are things like weapons and core control
Yeah, I mean,
and the self-destruct.
Yeah, basic stuff. Then his tack would probably be to go through the engineering computer and okay. Oh boy. I'm just trying to gauge how he would react to this, because you said again that he saw the self-destruct prefix code, right?
He saw what he thought was the he saw the prefix and thought, "Oh God, that's the self-destruct prefix."
This is GM. Please do not kill my character, boot him out of the academy for this. But no, I'm dead serious, because he thinks he saw self-destruct code. He is. How do I put this? Boy, oh boy. How do I put this?
It's about this time that Cameron realizes, the self-destruct isn't on.
Yeah, he would be pretty darn close to tearing apart the console and just like hardware hacking this thing.
Well,
If I may.
You may. I'm sorry.
Okay. First off, his telemechanics itself would tell him everything about the ship.
Yep, that... Man, I mean... That's actually right. I apologize profusely because I forgot that little fact. Oy vey. Yeah, you know that the self-destruct isn't on.
And
again, I apologize. That was it completely leaving my brain that did that.
Okay.
Okay. He will say, he will calm down, but still breathing hard, be like, holy fuck, I don't know what's going on, but yes, it's not active, but holy shit.
Graham, we still have a lot of sparking and banging going on here. You want to do something?
You hear Avani cursing and what sounds like a fire extinguisher being used over the...
Okay, he's going to be more or less set his console on the alert, because he's probably got like a shortcut for that, and be like on my way, and he'll grab his tools and head up to the front. Okay, well, up front, you enter in, and Avani has a fire extinguisher out and is spraying down the slightly charred and embering
bits of his chair. There's still sparks coming out of the console. And what is Yuki doing at this point?
Picking her locks.
Okay, what is Cameron doing?
We're gonna, if normal procedure.
If you wish for a bone to be thrown your way, let me know.
No, doing whatever the standard procedure is, having a fire on board the ship, but mentally reviewing evacuation procedures if this thing gets out of hand.
Okay. Graham, would you kindly roll me a engineering check?
Okay.
In this case, I believe that, let's see, give me a mechanical engineer check.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Actually, if we weren't going to be hitting anything quickly, I'd be probably helping fight the fire, sort of thing.
Ooh, okay. Majorly succeeded.
Okay. You can tell by looking at this that there is one thing that would be causing the sparks to be flying like that. That would be there would be something to do with the electrical systems to the console.
Generally.
So, the first step that, well, if your character would think this, at least in the book, the first step to that would be shut off the power at the main distribution center for the console.
Duh.
And he would do that. He would shut down the power and be like it would stop sparking, of course, and fire would go up pretty quickly, I would imagine.
The fire was only there because the upholstery on the chair caught. The smoke was mostly from frying solder and, plastic burning. Or excuse me, space plastic.
Okay, he'll cut the power and be like, okay, before I go any further, I want to make this very clear to everybody. If this ever happens again, shut down the power to the console immediately. That'll minimize damage.
How
the hell was I supposed to do that? I'm the scientist.
You need to know that. I'm saying that for future reference, do that, because that'll make everything a lot easier, and it'll reduce the risk of fires. It's just me trying to help. And he'll start pulling out the parts that are charred or whatnot and start fixing the console as best he can.
Okay, I will want a electrical engineering check for that. Meanwhile, Avani is off to the side, looking slightly shaken. Say again? I'm sorry?
I'm handing him one of my locks. In the lock.
Huh? What? Thank you.
Failure.
He thanks you and looks at the lock.
No, you put the lock pick in there, like this. I told him.
Yo, that's a major failure.
By how much?
Engineer or basic electronics?
Electrical engineer.
Okay, yeah, but it would have failed massively either way. But that doesn't mean I'm incompetent, and I'm using.
No, I'm not calling you incompetent. I'm just thinking of what the consequence will be.
Okay.
Your first view as you take off the panel to look at the system is, holy crap, the inside of this thing is fried. Your second thought is, wait, these things can hold residual charge, as there's a little static bolt of electricity that zots your fingertip.
Oh boy.
Not enough to actually, literally just a static charge. Not enough to actually kill you. Not enough to cause damage, but enough to make you go, oh shit!
Now that the crisis seems to have been more or less averted, I'm just going to go back to monitoring the controls.
Okay.
We'll let our engineer do his thing.
Yep. So it's very, very, very fried. can I repair it? Is another question, because if it's that fried, can you?
Based
repair
on
it?
what you're looking at, you're going to have to completely rip everything out and put everything back in.
And you don't have the parts for that.
Oh, I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, that is a good question, because we got a lot of parts, but there's a good question, because I think I would know that, probably.
Well, give me a just general engineering check. Mechanical engineer.
Okay. I think that is a success, but not by much.
I don't even have the number popping up yet.
Waiting for the number.
Is anybody else having it pop up?
I got a 50.
50? Okay, wow, that took a while.
Oh,
Yeah, you would succeed on that if the stuff on your sheet is currently... Yeah, you would succeed. You do have the spare parts. It's going to use up pretty much all of your fine electronic spare parts.
Oh,
But
boy.
you have...
Okay. I'll be like, okay, I can fix this, but it'll use up almost all our spares.
Time.
You
What
cut
was
out...
that you cut out?
Yeah, you cut out.
Time? What's the time?
You would estimate it would take about 2.5 to 3 hours minimum.
2.5 to 3 hours minimum.
Do we have any sensors?
Well, you have your tactical sensors, and those are fairly close range, all things
Okay.
considered. You have those in your navigation sensors.
Okay, fair enough. Well, first off, we'll get settled into orbit. Get Graham doing his thing, obviously, before that.
Okay.
And Yuki, if she wants to lend a hand, that's up to Graham.
yeah, if you're willing. I don't have any engineering skills, but I could do what you tell me to do.
He would say this. If you could simply watch the engineering console, if anything changes beyond this, and you give like relatively specific like numbers or whatnot, and just say if anything changes beyond that or whatnot, just let me know. And if it changes, just say what changed, and I'll respond appropriately if anything changed.
Well, Yuki, not remembering the numbers, goes and sits down.
Okay,
Nodding
but he also would
politely.
emphasize don't touch anything on there. Don't change any settings. Don't hit any buttons. Just watch.
This is boring.
Okay,
Yeah, Avani. Yeah,
give me one moment. I need to check something.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, just Avani. Maybe we'll go have a cup of coffee or something like that while these guys
Yeah.
are doing anything.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Go
I think
reassure.
I need new pants. Oh, boy,
Okay.
yeah.
Do I at this particular juncture know the cause of the short circuit?
There was a sudden power surge.
Okay,
That's
he's
the
like,
only thing I could think of that would cause this sort of damage.
okay, Avani,
You would have to dig into the maintenance and computer logs to find out what triggered it. But all you know right now is that there was a power surge.
well, Avani, I don't know what exactly caused it, but it was almost certainly a power surge of some kind. Given that, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, but given that, it's unlikely that it was at all your fault. Would I know differently as a engineer?
As an engineer, they make these things fairly idiot-proof, although it is a fine military tradition to produce a better idiot. You don't think that this was the case this? You don't think that was what happened here?
Yeah, I don't think it was your fault, man. This was almost certainly a failure on the console or materials part. Don't think anything of it. Yeah, these things are supposed to be pretty idiot-proof. Even if you were the most incompetent bozo on the face of the universe, this thing should not have done that. I don't know if that helps, but just want to understand it's not your fault. This is equipment.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm gonna go drink some tea now. Oh boy. And he goes off into the kitchen living area to get some tea.
Yeah, and he'll go to fix it and all that.
Okay, well, you've got about 2.5 to 3 hours of work ahead of you.
Okay. Question.
During that time, sorry, go ahead.
Just to understand the scale of the repairs, because you said like 2 to 3 hours minimum, right?
Correct.
That's with his skills as a sci tech.
Yes, that is including your skills as a sci tech.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, he would.
Basically, every component in this thing is fried.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. He'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Yuki is Yuki helping you?
No, I asked her to.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My brain. Okay. Well, during this time, Yuki, is there anything you'd like to do?
Well, I get bored of watching a computer screen, and instead I put on the video that was sent to Arrow by his mother on the headphones. And then I decided I go and I remix the best of it into like a little 15-minute video of like the remix and stuff, and I'm gonna circulate it on the internet.
Give me a computer operations check.
I don't have that skill.
This is important. Is she using the engineering computer or her own?
My own. I have my own personal.
Okay.
You succeeded. So, you managed to clip it together. You even add in a little bit of music in the background that syncs up with her. Okay, and during this time, what would Arrow be doing?
Arrow would be, first off, presumably I would have run a briefing on this whole testing procedure and what to do in case of a no-duff, a real problem that cropped up. I'm tempted just to call into the station and inform them of our situation just in case, but that's also these things would occur in a real mission, so I think I'm just going to leave it with either if I don't have to call in, then I just make a log entry on the situation, and presumably they're kind of monitoring us. So whatever would work best.
The standard operating procedure for something like this would be if no one was hurt, simply log it.
Right. So I'll make a little captain's log.
Okay.
And yeah.
About 90 minutes into the repair process. Cameron, there's something strange on the tactical sensors. Not ship was there, but this weird fuzz starting to come very edge of.
Okay. We'll
Welcome back, guys.
If I leave like that again, I'm just fixing you guys cutting out. Don't follow.
Oh, okay.
Passive sensors. See if we can't pull in a little bit more detail about a Casper out there.
Give me a sensor use check, please.
Wow. 6%.
There is some sort of energy source. That's the best you can make out of it. There is some sort of
Size,
energy source.
magnitude,
Um,
speed.
course is roughly consistent with the planet orbit,
Planetary orbit, okay.
and the size is roughly half the planet.
Okay. I okay. We'll start monitoring it, watching it closely, looking for, closing, energy spikes, things like that.
Well, it's slowly coming towards you, roughly in time with the orbit of the planet.
So are we in orbit around the planet, or are we still trying
You had entered an outer orbit of the planet when
Right.
the sensors went kablooey.
And it seems to be...
It seems to be keeping up. It seems to be going at the same speed as the planet is. To give a more clarity as to the rough size of this, it is roughly 26 to 27,000 miles in radius.
And it seems to be emitting some sort of energy, you say?
It's just energy. It's weird. It is.
Ooh.
That's the best you can get out of your sensors. The tactical sensors are designed to lock onto things and detect, close-in ships, not tell you what the thing is.
Yellow alert.
Oh, I look at my half-completed video.
It's a shot of his mother with her mouth open and one eye kind of lazily closed. The other one's kind of looking off in the opposite direction.
Over the comms to Arrow.
By the way, I've been doing this at my station right here.
By the way, over the comms to Arrow, Graham would be like, "Sir, I'm currently working on the sensors."
Yellow alert.
You're all on the bridge. Or at least I assumed you were if you're working on the sensor console.
Yeah, and that was me literally asking him, "Do you want me at my post, sir?"
Yes.
Yes, sir. And he'll pack it up his best at, and he'll slap like a caution sticker that he happens to have in his pocket on the thing. Caution: do not use.
Back in 15.
Well, Avani comes up to his station, looks at it, looks at the scorched chair, looks at his station, shrugs. I'm gonna go strap myself into one of the chairs in the eating room.
There's no spare station?
Nope.
Okay. We'll try to monitor on the comms.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay.
I put down my tablet thing, forgetting that the video's still there. Showing up clearly.
Okay, so got a ping. It's a weird one. Actually, Avani, we need you up here.
All right, getting up, unbuckling myself. He walks in.
And come here, take a look at this.
All right, give me one moment.
What do you make of this?
Well, he looks over it, frowns, rubs his head for a moment. I've got nothing. It's huge, whatever it is. It's putting out a ton of energy for your tactical sensors to be picking it up. I mean, it's got to be putting out over 1 minute while the GM does not look something up.
1.21 gigawatts.
Hey, are we in its orbital path? Like, is it with it? Is it going to hit us?
It's coming closer.
Perhaps we should move?
Right now we're still in orbit. If we move, it might notice it, but that's definitely something I'm considering.
But if we stay here, we'll probably be hit by it all the same.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get out of the thing's way. Believe me. But right now we're trying to figure out what it is.
Driving?
And Avani's eyes widen and puts out, and he says, "Oh, holy shit!"
That's one evaluation. I need something better.
It's putting out more than it's putting out three. It's putting out more than, oh my god! It's putting out more than the sun of my home system
Words.
does.
Okay, I think we should move now.
Okay. Roger that. Let's adjust course. Let's.
But before we go, I'll do a radio check.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it? Maybe it's trying to talk. I don't know.
Hey, I got a hit.
Yay.
Do you have the mathematics basic check? Yes.
Yes, I do.
That mathematics. Roll me that as well.
Hold on, I forgot I can't do it that way. 63. Yes, that's that.
At first, you only hear the vague background static. And then you miss it at first. It's very faint, but then you almost swear that you can hear clicking.
More clicking.
Click. A few seconds passed. Another click. A few seconds pass. 2 clicks. A few seconds pass. 3 clicks.
Arrow, I think you need to hear this. I broadcast it to the rest of the ship.
Everyone who has the math advanced skill, roll it now.
Okay, majorly succeeded.
Okay,
No advanced math.
no advanced math?
1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4.
Well, you listen for about 30 seconds, and the clicking continues. 5 clicks, then 8 clicks, then 13 clicks, one after the other. And then it stops, and it goes back to 1 click, followed by 1 click, followed by 2 clicks, followed by 3 clicks. Graham?
Yep.
Something is clicking the Fibonacci sequence.
Oh boy. He's gonna. Well, first of all, would he have run into this within some time in his life, like running more or less as a time when you have heard stories about pulsars? Would this be like that?
You've never heard of anything like this. All you know is that there's something there, and it's clicking out, you assume deliberately, or whatever your character. You just know that you are hearing the Fibonacci sequence being clicked.
Okay. He will come over to the company and be like, that's the Fibonacci sequence.
What?
Mathematical formula that pops up in nature from time to time, but this seems to be intentional. That's my call, but
What's
take
the
what you will.
Fibonacci sequence?
It's a. Are you familiar with pi?
I like
The
cake.
mathematical concept of pi.
Oh.
So it has to.
I mean, that's
do
basic
with-
math, I would
is it
imagine.
Cherry pie or?
No. I mean, like,
You
GM, am I
wouldn't-
correct in thinking that that's basic math?
You would. The Fibonacci, the idea of pi at the very least would be used to find the area of a circle.
So
Sequence would be advanced. So
yeah, and he'd be like, But what I'm trying to get at, though, is that pi, which is used to find radiuses. Well, the Fibonacci sequence is like pi in the sense that it is a seemingly arbitrary sequence of numbers that continues on to infinity. They're broadcasting this up to a point and then repeating.
And what would do that?
I've never heard of anything that would do
Avani?
this.
Avani?
Avani pauses for a moment, and he listens to the clicking noises and goes, "Yeah, that's definitely the Fibonacci sequence. I don't know.
Maybe you
I
can.
don't know.
Do any of you guys know anything about space? About
You know any planetary phenomena that would involve this at all?
I don't know. I've the fact that it's repeating itself, it's stopping at a certain point and then starts over.
Well, why don't we just record like 4 or 5 cycles and more or less put that into the logs? But
do we have any probes?
Fancy you should ask that. You might.
Why don't we send out a probe? We back away.
Avani, it's still your mission.
Yeah. Yeah. We can drop a probe and back off some. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We can do that.
Right.
I'll
Add to engineering. Be prepared to.
I'll need to use someone's station real quick.
You can use mine.
Yeah, set it up.
And he
Engineering,
moves over.
stand by for hard maneuvers. We may have to get GTFO out real quick.
Okay. Well, Avani goes over to your console, Yuki, and he logs you out, logs himself in, and starts typing in the things for the probe. And after maybe 2 minutes of that, he nods and looks up at Cameron. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's send it. Send it on a nice course. We don't want to threaten the darn thing.
All right. And he hits the button and nods to you. I'm done now. Thank you, though.
Okay, so just gotta record the data as it comes in. So.
And are you moving away from it?
Words, Dave, words. Are we in any danger yet from the thing?
I don't know if you're in any danger from it, but
is it going to hit us?
In about 5 minutes.
Okay, let's boost into a higher orbit if we can, if at all possible.
All right, give me a piloting check, please.
Oh.
To add in new characters.
Oh, gee.
Okay, so you start going to a further out orbit, pulling away from the planet.
Yeah.
And almost at once, the clicking stops.
Mm-hmm.
And when you reach the end of your orbit, of your new position, nothing really seems to happen. Could anyone that's watching any sensors at all give me a sensor use check? I'm sorry?
Sensors. Internal sensors, does that count?
Give me a sensor check, yes.
Okay.
I'll be watching the tactical. Obviously.
Give me a sensor check. Yuki, also give me a communications check, please.
By the way, I have cryptography if it's ever needed.
Okay.
I failed that. I failed that.
Okay. You don't, as I stated, the clicking stopped. And then whatever it is started to move.
It's following us.
And Yuki, you managed to cut the feed the instant it begins, as discordant screeching fuels the communication array as it moves. Graham?
Yes.
All of your sensors, except for the ones concerning the containment of the... My brain just stopped working on the word. The core state, everything, all of your sensors that are, detecting things except for the inside of the core, which still show fine, are redlining. Graham?
Okay.
All your stuff is redlining.
Okay, he's gonna go through immediate shutdown.
And then it stops.
Like it red lines and then stops, or what?
It all maxes out to the red line as if there is some sort of massive energy surge going through all the systems, and it stops.
Okay, he's going to be...
And Avani goes, oh, shit.
He's gonna... Sorry, go ahead.
The probe's gone.
Battle
No.
stations or...
Hey.
Hold on, people.
Is this over open comms?
He would have said that over open comms, yes.
Okay, Graham will say, I think we have the answer to a couple of questions that had not yet been asked. I have a hunch, though this is by no means backed up by any physical data as yet.
Make a point. If you're make a point,
blown out by a similar surge, and that it's not so much the probe's gone so much as the electronics are fried. We just
Yuki,
another
Avani analysis
on everything but the core.
I just read a massive surge on all the sensors as if something was going in there and turning them all up to the maximum, and then I lost all telemetry from it.
Did anyone get a visual? Anyone care to look out the window and look?
Obviously, we're all looking out the window.
That was Arrow.
Well, fancy that. Looking out the window, you remember how I described the planet? Half of it had that swirling, palette blending colors on one side.
Yes.
It's detached from the planet. And slowly, like a long tendril, extending out, defying the orbital path of the planet, a single long tendril-like portion of it had gone out, and the very edge of it settled right where the probe had been, and was just there in space.
Well, that's weird.
Photos. Let's take a photo.
Obviously, yes. Avani?
The little flash bulb on the front of the ship goes off as it takes a picture.
Selfie.
And Avani is staring at it, open mouth, like, huh?
Now, question is, we have a communications means. Do we communicate or back off?
I don't. If you try to communicate, did you hear the sound it made?
That wasn't just a sound. That was all our systems nearly getting fried.
Yuki, would you roll me a communications check again?
I need to memorize this number.
Oof.
The clicking is back.
What is that? Wait, does that mean it's coming after us? Is it?
No, I believe it's it may be a communications means, but I need science to back me up on this one.
I could try finding some kind of decryption or something in what it's doing.
Send the next number in this Lamborghini sequence.
Okay. Send the next number.
Oh, that's what the communications means. That's what they're trying to test us for. But
Well, I'm doing
do we
it.
do that or not?
Do you ask Avani or Graham what the next number in the sequence is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should probably know that. What's the next number?
Okay. Roll me advanced math. Well, actually, no. Now that you know it's the Fibonacci sequence, it's
Space Google.
yeah. The next number would be 21.
Okay, so I sent him the 21 clicks.
Of course, I was just asking if we should, but she just went and transmitted it. Okay.
The tendril and whatever it is doesn't seem to move or respond. 30 seconds pass.
Oh my gosh, we need to keep sending it. How many times did we send it?
45 seconds passed.
Relax.
And
Stand by, everyone.
very slowly, with a ponderous, slow speed that only things that almost defy comprehension in terms of their size seem to do. The rest of that color smear or coloration from the planet starts to detach itself. And as it does, it starts to spread out, and deep purples and greens and blues as it starts to move out into space. And yet, pictures. Until it seems to be just a large gaseous cloud out in front of you. And then, instead of clicking now, there are flashes of impossibly large lightning that start to go from the top of the cloud to the bottom beyond your view. One, wait a second. One, another second or two. 2, 3, 5, 8 lightning strikes all at once, just on the cloud. And then it pauses and waits.
Do flash our lights or something at it.
Okay, yeah, sure. We'll flash that big the flash bulb that we have, or even the running lights. Yeah, what's the next number? And then we'll flash that at them.
Okay.
Standing by to run like heck.
And it floats there. Yuki, I will require a communication check from you now, please.
And this is the one time watch I failed.
Why did you have to say that?
Because I know it. The dice don't like me.
10-4, good buddy.
Okay. There is a sudden discordant squealing, crackling, unearthly howling noise coming through the speakers now. Not just yours, not just on the communication station, every speaker on the ship.
Obviously, that gets turned down.
It doesn't turn down.
Oh.
Wow.
And after maybe a minute and a half of more or less the well, not depending on what y'all do. It's akin to basically a jet to a jet fighter taking off right next to you.
Yeah, Yuki is covering her ears because that is horrible because she has the most enhanced hearing. She's covering her ears. She's balled up on the floor.
GM, question. And I want your judgment on this. Do you think that he would have at some point altered or had the ability, I should say, to build one of his special internal shields into his new armor that's more or less been issued?
One moment.
The one feature.
Not yet, no.
Okay. Jeez. But they do have sound dampening, right? Just built into them naturally.
The suits. So your normal. No, those would be in suits of like power armor or body armor. Unless you're wearing your body armor,
I'm not wearing it. The reason why I'm asking is that if he knows that as insulation, that's the first thing he'd go to. Because what else would have insulation that could potentially help against this sound?
Yeah, if you run to your body armor, they would have some sound dampening properties, but that would be it.
Yeah, he'd be like, I'm good. Oh God, he can't communicate because it's so loud.
And again, this is coming from all the speakers.
Okay, he's going to. Is there like a text communication system on the ship?
Give me a moment, please.
Okay. Standing by to do something.
Eyes, I want you to know, I genuinely don't know how to process that right now.
That's what she's doing.
Okay.
It'll probably get us all killed.
The sound stops very suddenly.
Ooh. Ow.
And the cloud actually seems to recoil back. It moves back in what for it would be a very small recoil, which is the equivalent of about, a planet. And it just sort of hovers there.
Oh my God.
Well,
blast this full volume at it.
Blast what?
And I sent him the video.
Arrow turns around in his chair.
Blast it.
Well, you're the comms person.
I'm on the floor. I'm still a little dazed.
Okay.
Then does Cameron have a communication skill, radio basic, anything like that?
Pretty sure he does. Stand by. I know. Let me see if it's got its ears on. Good, buddy. Yeah, radio basic. And rolling, and that's 26 out of 70.
Well, as you're transmitting it, one of the lovely things that the Consortium Navy has is an image preview of video messages that get sent.
Yeah.
And it takes a few seconds after you send it to actually load, and your mother's face is staring back at you as she's in mid-tirade. One of her fingers is slightly up as if she was wagging it at you.
And
her lips are kind of pursed forward, and her eyes are narrowed.
And she's doing that whole backwards, forwards video editing comedy. Okay.
Yes.
What the? Okay, that's one thing. What is Mr. Stinky Cloud of Death doing out there?
I'm still trying to think of what it would do. All the ways I expected this to go.
What is it doing?
It floats there for a good minute. And then 2 minutes.
Okay, after a minute, I'm shutting off the video. After a minute, I'm shutting that off.
Okay.
What's the next number of the sequence?
And you're asking that to Avani or Graham?
Avani or Graham, yeah.
Graham, would you roll me advanced mathematics again, please? Because I'm going to say that the loud noises and the scrambling and everything might have made you temporarily forget what number in the sequence you were on.
Okay, could I activate total recall? Would that help, or would I...
That would basically instantly solve the problem.
Okay. I would instigate total recall, and it only goes up as far as I've actually read, as far as it goes. So there is a limit, but he would give the next number with total recall. He's like, write this down. He'd rattle off like 25 of the Fibonacci sequence.
Okay.
Like that should keep you for a while if you need more.
Okay. Yeah, we'll key in that.
You take it down.
Well, and you transmit that out using what?
Just the running lights or the flash bulb or...
Okay. The cloud remains in the same position it was in where it had recoiled. And then, very slowly, you see what on it is a minuscule tendril start to move out at speeds that, quite frankly, are baffling considering the distance that it covers in a minute. And the single tendril comes to about 200 to 300 miles away from you.
Still quite a ways, but at this scale, probably.
And that's, a hair's breadth from you at its scale.
Still too far to see anything.
And Yuki, would you be in any condition to take a communications check?
I'll take it. By now I would have recovered, and I'm glaring at Graham. But Arrow.
Well, okay, what was that all about anyways?
But I take the communication.
The static clears. There's no sound coming out at all, which is abnormal because normally you'd at least be able to hear the background static of space. And then you hear a modulated whine, not loud enough to be painful, but a sort of almost like you're tuning a radio, starts to go into, come out from as if the thing was sending you a signal. And if you could roll that cryptology check for me, please.
Oof.
It's not like any sort of it's not like any sort of code or anything like that. But from training in cryptography, one thing you did learn was to look for deliberate, intentional patterns. And there's definitely one there. It's trying to do something, but you don't know what. And the signal continues to transmit.
I guess, I don't know, maybe it wants us to do the thing again? The next number?
Oh, okay. Transmit the next number. What makes you say that?
I don't know. Don't you hear this? It's something, but I don't know.
Oh, there's a transmission. Oh. Could it be sending us their language? or a primer on their language?
I'm trying to think. Would you like to see if that's the case, Yuki?
If he mentions it, yes. So I'll run it through whatever.
And while she's doing that, I'll ask Avani, I guess, if we have a standard language primer or some sort of mathematical thing.
I'm running it through my translator.
Yeah. Be right back. And he runs back into the common area. You can hear him rustling around, and he returns with his own personal computer. And he starts tapping away at it. Yuki, give me a computer operation. Actually, this would be closer to computer. Give me a computer hacking check.
Oh, yay, that's like my lowest skill. Yep, nope.
You start running it through what is more or less the translation algorithm, for lack of a better term.
Oh, I was running it through my personal built-in translator. Basically the one that's built into my head.
Oh. Crow. Yeah, you have nothing but it's a modulated whine. You think for a second the computer that it's hooked on something, but it just keeps the
Whatever it is, it's a whiny bitch.
Can Graham hear this? Or no?
If Graham was aware of what's going on and offers,
Yuki didn't even mention that.
Yeah, so that's... I didn't...
Mention it. I'd definitely say put it on speakers.
Here for just a second and went over each other. So Graham said you were putting it over speakers?
If it's possible, if Yuki mentions it, then I'll definitely ask that it be put over the speakers, just so we can all get in on this.
Okay. Would Yuki mention it?
Probably after saying it's a whiny bitch, then she would have turned it to speakers.
Okay then. Does anyone else have the computer hacking skill?
Just a sec. I have computer programming.
Roll that for me. I will add. Roll that for me and make it
small.
Make it easier by 5.
Okay, and also got a question. The sound, does it sound, and I know this is not even remotely what this was intended, but does it sound anything, or does it sound in any way familiar to me in regards to harmonic engines?
You have never heard anything like this.
Okay, just making sure. Nope. Just checking. That's pretty close, like up or down.
Okay.
That actually succeeds by the 5%. I believe. I'm gonna have to check again.
Okay.
No, that does not, but not by much.
Okay.
Like
Well,
I think it's like it failed by like 7 or 8.
Well, you definitely. It's trying to say something. You can definitively say that. What it's trying to say, you have no idea. But from what you're able to throw together a quick little program that tries to run it through translation software, that sort of thing. You try to hacker man your way at it, and all you're able to come up with is, yeah, it's trying to say something, but you don't know what.
Well, he's gonna come back and go. It's saying something. Hey, here's an idea, man. This is a shot in the dark, but of all the languages I am remotely familiar with, the simplest and easiest to use for any life form would be Morse code.
I don't know.
What's Morse code?
That's literally actually in the description of Radio Basic that you learn Morse code.
Oh, what is okay then? I know Morse code.
Yeah, that,
It's
That's
probably called
Earth
some.
is-
It's probably called
Something else.
Well,
and there's
I'd
probably
know-
different codes for every instance of it.
You know, I'd know what Morse code is because.
But the
I'm
basic
from Earth.
concept is still the same. Of like, you hit this number of beeps for this and that.
I'm going to send out a hello in Morse code. Why not?
Oh, why not? Yeah.
give me a communications check, Radio Basic.
Okay.
The tendril moves back a little bit as the signal starts to go in to be sent out. And then it moves back forward and keeps moving forward until it's about 1 mile from the ship, which in space terms is virtually kissing.
Yeah. It's filling up our view screen right now. Or pretty close.
Yeah, and given the scale of the thing, it's
Yeah.
basically your entire view. And
It's
you
just
can see colors at the edge of the tendril swirling about in frenzied activity, and little quick zots of electricity going from point to point on the outside of it, almost excitedly.
Any sort of patterns or anything to it?
Not that you can discern.
Okay. Well, we got its interest. Now what are we going to say to it? How's that translation coming?
Avani is tapping away at his computer. I'm working on it.
I'm gonna send in Morse code. What are you?
It recoils again, and then returns back to the spot it was at before. And it's at that point that there's a click over the communication channel. And if you would please give me one more communications check.
By the way, I'm broadcasting all of this to everyone.
Okay. There is a sudden rapid series of clicks. Not in Morse code that you can tell, it's just as if it's clicking rapidly. Almost like a little kid flicking a switch on and off repeatedly.
I'm gonna repeat that to him.
It does the same thing. And Avani looks up. Oh, I think I got it. I'm a Yuki, plug this in.
Okay, I plug it in.
And give me one final communication check.
Now, is there any kind of protocols within this?
Another.
And if I probably officers would
You're
know
breaking
much. Presumably, first contact protocol.
That's the first contact protocol. There is a first contact. And do you wish me to?
Now you're breaking up. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, there is a first contact protocol. Would you like me to give you the bare bones version?
Through Avani, sure.
Avani is looking at his console and he goes, crap, what are we supposed to do? Data packet. And he taps on his computer real quick. Send this.
Okay.
I'll and you send it.
Yeah.
And the tendril doesn't move for a good 2 minutes. And then the clicking begins again. But it is most certainly in a recognizable pattern. Yuki, there's the little text translator on your console is blinking.
Okay, I press it or whatever I'm supposed to do.
All right, one moment.
And I'm gonna read it out loud. So whatever you read there, I'll read out loud. Tiny Pig, what is? We are a ship. I send back in.
Okay.
Ship, what is a ship? A thing that holds little things.
Okay.
I'm not telling you my response.
Well, the fact that you're. What do you mean we're getting? What sounded like did you transmit?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it seemed it sent 2 missions.
We are a. How do I tell it we're a ship? It doesn't know what a ship is.
How about this? Try sending we explore.
Okay,
We search.
I go and send that. Explore what purpose? To discover new things.
Yeah.
What are
Knowledge.
you? By the way, what is me? Are there other me's? Do you have a name? Well, my name's Yuki. But she stopped reading it out loud. This is Yuki. No, Yuki.
And and that's when the Great Cloud War began.
I am a human, is what they call us. Though I'm different than other humans.
Okay, you just broke its linguistics. Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, everyone else, what you're seeing is that one tendril is being joined by others, roughly the same size, until you have about a dozen arrayed in a half sphere a mile from the ship. And arcs of lightning are jumping freely between them, back and forth, and forth, and forth, and back.
Okay.
Wait. You say, "Come with me"?
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know, this is
Arrow, I need you to drive the ship. I need you to bring it out of this as far away as we can, away from here.
why.
Just do it. It's gonna come with us. So we want it out of here so we can finish surveying.
No.
The tendrils dart forward,
Yikes.
and they are about 3 inches from the ship's hull. And remember earlier when it was spike lining?
Mm-hmm.
It's doing that of electricity or onto the ship's hull.
Okay. That's it.
Fly, please.
Does this thing have shields there, Gene?
Yes, it does have shields.
Okay. Shields up and we fly. Fly for.
Oh, that's you
Typo. That's me.
Well, you turn the shields on.
And they overload immediately?
It stands a couple inches
Graham,
away from the
there's
ship.
your shields go from turning on to blinking. Oh God, they done blown up.
Oh God. I don't know what you did, but the shields are gone.
Okay.
Like not gone like as in don't work, like gone as in obliterated.
Okay, I get the picture.
What's going on there?
We're putting it into reverse.
What?
Putting it into reverse.
Okay.
Okay. Give me a piloting check.
That's under by like 9.
Okay, well, you back up. It's following you.
Okay, send this now, Yuki. We mean no harm.
Okay, then I send it. And then after that, I put in, let's be friends.
Oh,
You're having a freaking crazy as you're...
You relay that?
Sting annoying me. Oh, he's saying Sting annoys him.
Sting.
Yeah.
Sting.
We didn't mean to sting.
Raj, send that.
That's what I'm sending.
Yeah. Sting hurt us, or you hurt us. No harm meant.
We come close like your ship has. Too close. You're supposed to come with me, not touch me.
Okay. I think we found what we need to be here in the system for.
Yes, but we have these things around us that make it so that if you touch us, it hurts you. So funny.
Okay.
She has no idea.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Stop talking.
No, I just want to be friends. Me? I'm calling it me.
Okay. Okay.
Why don't you guys please?
Are you,
Graham,
Please
the
don't dead.
give me a basic mechanics check.
Basic mechanics? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know if that succeeds or not.
Well,
That fails. That definitely fails.
you're looking at the damage that you're taking a quick glance at the diagnostics and everything. Last time you saw damage numbers and that sort of thing was when you got to do some battlefield scavenging, and you ran the diagnostic on a shield emitter that had been hit by multiple antimatter blasts.
Oh boy. Geez. He's going to be like, whatever hit us, it was seriously heavy duty. We're talking antimatter blast level.
Roger that. Okay.
I need you to talk to it, please.
Well,
I'm
good.
smelling bad. You have all that, whatever that is, that makes people like you and trust you.
Right, Yuki. We'll all be having a nice long talk about this situation after it's done.
No.
So, what's the thing calling itself?
Me.
Me?
Yes, its name is Me.
Me.
I put in Me.
All right, for ease of convenience, I'm just going to start saying what it says instead of typing
Okay, sure. It'll be on the voice. It'll be on the voice.
It'll be text
universal
to speech.
Yes. Me. We seek knowledge. Your
Knowledge
harm.
sting? Why sting if knowledge seek?
Sting in self-defense, not on purpose.
The tendrils waver for a few seconds, the lightning arcs between them intensifying as more tendrils begin to join in. And the central ones meld, the ones that had been there from the beginning, sort of meld together into one larger one. And you can see illumination from the inside as electrical discharges go on inside.
We, community of many, many beings, seek knowledge, come to your home.
Why?
Knowledge. If you want new friends, we understand, and we will leave you alone.
Friend. And it's just that. That's all it says.
What? If you wish to join community, we welcome. If not, we leave you alone. And we talk good too.
The lightnings, the electrical arcs within that one larger tendril move all the way down it.
That message going back to the headquarters.
And then the tendrils begin to retract back towards the main body. And it sends a message Go away. No like sting.
We regret Sting. We apologize for Sting, and we hope to leave in friendship.
May return. Leave now.
Okay, guys. Let's put her in reverse.
Okay.
Making course, and whenever we're ready, we'll, far enough away, we'll hit the quote-unquote FTL.
All right. Give me a navigation check, please.
67, that's under by 3.
Boy. Well,
Kind of close.
you get to the FTL point.
Mainly because our sensors aren't fixed yet. So
Yep. The FTL engines warm up. They go to click on, and everything goes black.
oh no.
And then everything comes back on a moment later. Yuki, your comm system is beeping.
I go and answer it.
Simulation complete, cadets. Excuse me, wrong voice. Yes, cadets. Yes, your simulation complete. Yes.
Yes, station, but we're going to need some repairs here.
Yes, we record those. Yes, come. We have spare parts waiting for you.
Excellent. Thank you, station. Making course now.
And with that, I think we shall call it for this session. All right. So, Eyes, if you would be so kind as to stop the recording.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Adios.